Thank you very much for agreeing to take on a little additional parts of the worship service while we are on sabbatical. I'm going to be doing a little clip, and what I will be doing is basically I will be speaking through and talking through the order of service, and I will be speaking and doing your part. So, as this example is when we have an assisting minister and we have a preacher, an ordained clergy who is here to preach and to lead worship and to preside over communion. So you, as the assisting minister, you have pretty similar roles as you do on a typical Sunday, but you will start us off, and I will walk you through the order of service. And it may not hurt to grab a copy of the order of service and just follow it through. Of course, do know that what I have typed or what I have put in for wording, those are simply suggestions. You are leading worship, and so you make it your own. But I just wanted to provide some words to kind of get your mind working with. I just wanted to provide some words to help you feel comfortable for the first few times that you do lead worship. And so, all right. So you and the preacher are sitting over on the pew or in the captain's chair. Be in eye contact with the musicians, and when they stop at 9 a.m., come and walk over and stand right here in the middle. Make sure that your microphone is on, and again, stand in front of the altar. Good morning. Welcome to worship this morning. And welcome to those who are joining us via live stream. It is good for us to be worshiping together from Norway Grove Memorial Lutheran Church in DeForest, Wisconsin. I am Stacy, and I am assisting minister this day, and joining us this morning with preaching and presiding is Pastor Olson. And I will actually now turn it over to Pastor Olson, who can share a few words and get us started with worship. Turn off your mic. If you borrowed your mic from the musicians, give it back. Have a seat. Of the word. And so here, make sure that the pulpit mic for you is close. And here you do what you typically do on a Sunday morning. You read your readings. And then after you read the second reading, you can go ahead and have a seat, and the pastor will invite people to stand as they are comfortable. At this point in the service, the message is complete, the song of the day is complete, people are still standing, and now you will do, as you typically do, the prayers of intercession. You will read through those, invite people to have a seat, and then from here, you can be either here at the pulpit or in front of the altar, but simply state something along the line. At this time, I invite ushers forward to collect this day's offering. And now I have a note in here. Either a video will be played along the lines of offering, or you are asked to refer to the slide that is being shown. As long as the slide gives kind of an example of the ministries that are being served by everyone's offering. And simply state that. I invite ushers to come forward to collect this day's offering. As you can see on the screen, this is an example, just one example of the ministries that are being served by the offering which you give. And I invite you to sing the offertory song. At this point, you can go and sit down. At this time, you'll just need to work with the preacher, with the pastor, as to where you will stand for this portion. This portion is where you are going to be giving a couple notes of instruction. And assisting ministers will share that information because every pastor goes to a church and it's served differently. So we know how it's done, how we serve communion here. And so it makes sense that we would share that information. And so be in conversation with the pastor. Find out if the pastor would like you to stand at the pulpit, stand here, or stand in front of the altar. But at this time, you simply state something along the lines of, as we gather for communion, a couple items to note. Everyone is welcome to worship. Everyone is welcome to the table, no matter your age, no matter your denomination or your membership. Christ is the host of this meal. Everyone is welcome. And now just a quick note of instruction for how we serve and receive communion here. The usher will be in the middle aisle, and the usher will have a tray of cups. You will be invited to come to the middle aisle, pick up a cup, and then come forward. You will then choose, you have your choice of gluten-free if that's needed, gluten-free bread, crackers, let us know. If grape juice is needed, let us know that too. And then you will receive communion and then deposit your empty cup in one of the two baskets and then return to your seat on the outside aisle. Communion assistants and ushers, please come forward, for the table is now ready. And now at this time, you work with the pastor to simply serve the communion assistants and the usher first. Now, the pastor that you're working with, that pastor may insist that y'all are served first or last. So just kind of work with the person regarding that. But again, you have served communion with me up here at the altar, and so, and you know what? You are all going to worship on that day, and you're all going to receive communion on that day. So don't be too concerned about mixing up anything. So after communion is done being served, the pastor will say a prayer. And then you are encouraged to, again, come to the middle. And again, as far as a microphone, if you need to borrow one from the musicians, grab that. And stand in this area and share the announcements. When you are done with sharing all the announcements, invite people to stand as they are comfortable. And then you go and have a seat. The pastor will give the blessing, and then the closing song will begin. And after the end of the first verse, shortly after that, together, you and the pastor walk to the middle of the sanctuary. In front of the cross, stop and bow briefly, and then turn and walk to the back of the sanctuary. And at that time, when you are in the back, it would be wonderful if you are able to stick around and simply welcome people as they come through and leave worship for that day. So that is kind of the order of service and what to expect when you are helping lead worship service on a Sunday morning. When you are the assisting minister, we have communion, and there is going to be an ordained person preaching and presiding over the table. So worship, enjoy it, and know that you are being blessed while you are here doing this. Thanks.